Hey guys, it's me again. We're gonna have to finish this thing on the stuff you must know cold. We're gonna do pre-calculus and calculus today to finish it up. We got the even and odd functions there. It doesn't show up too much, but every once in a while they'll throw an even function in there with y-axis symmetry. Down here, not so worried about the law of cosines and sines, but these values, the ones that I have in there, those do show up quite a bit. So make sure you know at least what those values are at that location. And then know what the graphs look like for sine and cosine. If we go into these trig identities, we can move down here. The power reduction are more for BC. They do show up quite a bit. On the AB exam, we see this Pythagorean. These two particular ones show up from time to time, usually with a derivative. And you can simplify the derivative before you take it by using one of those. And here we got our reciprocals. And then our unit circle again on those particular values that do show up quite a bit. We come over here to our perfect squares. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Every once in a while you see that stuff, but you can easily solve that yourself. A lot of blank in this area here. Come over here to this. Now we got these sum and difference for sine and cosine. They will show up if you see a cosine one, then, or sometimes you can work an equation, simplify it by using that. If you are going to use the cosine one, make sure you have that sign change there. Moving up to the top here, we just have some values. We get into our calculus stuff. Here's our notation for right and left limits. There's our limit theorems. Those are our two special ones that show up quite a bit, especially that first one, sine x over x. See that one a lot. Definition of continuity. They usually ask about continuity on the FRQs, or something, would this theorem apply? Maybe it's IVT, MVT, whatever. And usually continuity, they're looking for that as an answer. Here's one right here for EVT, continuous, A to B. Over here, we got some curve sketching here. Remember how to find mins, maxims, critical points, points of inflection. I know it's been a while. Definition of the derivative does show up. Mostly multiple choice, but if we don't have multiple choice this year, probably not going to see it. Chain rule, product rule, quotient rule. Out to the top here, we have our derivative rules, which you can get out of the book. Notice that U prime is chain rule applications. Down here we have the IVT. Once again, continuous on that interval A to B. Move on to the mean value theorem, Rolle's theorem, and then we get into our first and second fundamental theorem of calculus. Area under the curve is Riemann sums and trap rule. We'll cover that. Mean value theorem for integrals just got kicked out, so we don't have to worry about any of this stuff. This is all section 8. That's not on the test. And we get to, finally, L'Hopital's rule. Gotta make sure we have an indeterminate form first before we can take the derivative of the top and the derivative of the bottom. The rest of the sheet is BC or not on the exam. All right, we finish those off. We'll start working some FRQs starting tomorrow.